Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Bold Explorer Live. Coming to you from Worthing in West Sussex, at the foot of the South Downs, at the edge of the English Channel. One toe dipped in the water for mankind, and 1 foot stuck on the pebbles in tar. Yes, we've had another oil tank spillage, and it's all up the beach. Or is it just the seaweed that's stinking today? Or is it me and my armpits? Yeah, maybe it's me and my armpits, actually, but never mind! The old bald one-eyed geezer is here for yet another show. It is Wednesday the 14th of March today, 2018, and you're very welcome to take your seats. Please, no queuing, no pushing, no shoving. Can you keep the popcorn noise down and no rattling the crisp papers, please? That's very kind. The show is about to begin, and I am your host. I'm the man who walks about the UK with his little camera, trying to make videos that'll entertain you when I'm out and about, and also sitting here in my little remote studio somewhere in the UK. Well, I've told you actually where it is. It's down in Worthing, of course, and I'm the guy who's going to be trying to sort of amuse you, bemuse you, and make you incredibly confused. So that's all very good. So here we are, another day, a fairly reasonable day today, weather-wise, down in the south coast here in West Sussex, as opposed to East Sussex, because I'm not in East Sussex, but all part of Sussex. I know there are some people out there who prefer to call Sussex Sussex and blow the East and the West, although I actually think the East and the West is probably quite good. We in the West, of course, we're very happy and jolly people. Those in the East, they're equally happy and jolly people, and I will not have a thing said against them. So if anyone's going to fly the flag for the wrong people, then out you go. Thank you very much indeed. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what have we got in the show today? Would you like a nice cup of tea, Mr. Vobes? That's been the question I've been asking myself. And what about this green man thing? Well, we're getting into spring. It's all a bit pagan, isn't it? And what is paganism? We've got the Vobing reporters on today's show. And Harriet and I go out into the mist. Thank you, band. Thank you. Thank you. Have a sit down. That's it. Have a nice cup of tea. Yes, that would be nice. A nice cup of tea would be lovely. But anyway, before we get on to any of that sort of nonsense, let's see if there's anybody out there in the chat room available to say hello. And yes, there is Linda Bridger, all the way from Rustington. Hello, Linda. It's lovely to see you. Andy Ash, West is best, he says. Of course, he would say that because he is in the West, up there in jolly old Worcester. Or Worcestershire, I should say, that sort of neck of the woods. Martin Snow is venturing east tomorrow with the Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi. We're going to a very nice little priory. We're going to have a little nosy in the priory, a prior eyrie. I might even leave an eye. You know what it's like. Might as well. Dave Painter has joined. Hello, Dave. I believe I'm going to be seeing Dave in the afternoon, which is rather nice. He's just checking up to make sure that I'm still the bald, beautiful-headed man that he last saw when he left the country, running away because the one-eyed man was chasing him with his little fingers. But enough of that. Elaine Brazier is saying yes to a cup of tea because she knows what's coming up in the show, and she knows what the tea reference is, and yet everybody else is going, tea? What's that all about? What could it possibly be? What could it be? Who needs you, you might ask? Who needs you in the kitchen? Who knows? Well, Elaine knows because her and her family have done something rather special, but that's coming up a bit shortly. Andy Ash is sticking his thumb up. I think he's hitching a ride down south because south is best. No, not really. South is nice. North is east. East is west. And yes, I should get dressed. Yes, maybe I should. One of these days I'll do the show where I'm standing up and you'll see what I'm actually wearing down below. But no, none of this gay banter. Thank you very much. Eop from Lancs says, Alex. Hello, Alex. Yes, could be coming up to Lancs sooner than I thought. Because poor old Harriet's dad's in a bit of a bad way, and I think Harriet's getting a bit concerned, so she may be shooting up there, and she may need somebody to sort of support her as she supports her dad. So I may be sort of coming up to Lancashire with a bit of a loose end. My end's always been a bit loose. I've tried to screw it down, but the nuts just don't fit. They wobble about in the sack a bit, but let's not go down there any further. Thank you very much. Anne, hello to you, Anne. It's lovely to see you. Fantastic. We've got Nigel Sadler. He says, Mickleham, is it by any chance? Probably spelt that wrong. I've no idea because I'm just glancing at the screen and I think I've got it. Chris Puller says, hello. Hello, baby. So there we go. That's everybody. Andy Joy, South is good. I moved to Redditch in 1989 and never went back. You moved to Redditch from where? Where, pray, did you move from Redditch to? From which? Wherever. Anyway, there. So, ladies and gentlemen, firstly, I am going to say it because I plan to say it. I need a PA. Yes, no, not a public address. No, this is my public address. Yes, my husband and I. No, I don't need that kind of a. I need a helper. I need a social secretary. I need a sexy secretary. No, I need a PA. I need someone to help me because this is like, this is a full-time thing. This whole business. I mean, more than full-time, 24/7, no sleep for the wicked, that sort of thing. There's all the uploading of the show, and there's an editing of the footage, and there's the going out of the filming, and there's the talking to everybody, there's the hellos, the answering, the thumbs up, the smiley faces, there's the letters, there's opening the mail, there's banking the checks. Banking the checks, that would be good, yes. There's all that sort of stuff, and it is a little bit overwhelming at the moment, but and I hope it gets better, and I hope it grows. I hope we get more viewers and more patrons, of course, just to help, help things along so we can go further afield. Planning trips and that sort of thing. So, yes, I need to earn some cash somehow so I can afford to pay someone to come in and just help a little bit, because I think this is a thing. Do you think this is a thing? It's one of those things that is really good. So I'm hoping that it is going to be something. So there we go. Kevin Hall says, I know a good one. Now, I don't know what he's talking about there. He knows a good one. Andy Joy is from Worthing. Joy of joys. Andy Joy. Lovely to have you here from Worthing. There you go. It's a nice to see you. Well, of course, I can't actually see you. That would be a bit scary, wouldn't it? If I was going, so, Andy, I can see you in Worthing. That's only because my house backs onto his and he's opened his window. It's fair comment, isn't it? Saucy says Mark sell wood, and he's sold a lot of wood this week, and he's going to supply the old Vobie one-eyed Kenobi with a great big lump of it to smash him on the head. Now I'm talking nonsense. So let's move on with the show then. So in the show, yes, ladies and gentlemen, would you like a nice cup of tea? Yeah, we'll get on to that in a minute. Don't force it, Mr. Vobes. Today I went to Binstead. Have you ever been to Binstead? Now, I think it was Paul Hine who posted something about the ghouls and the ghosts and the spooky things that go on in Binstead. Now, you may be saying, just a moment, Mr. Vobes, excuse me. Where, please, where is Binstead? And I should tell you there are a number of Binsteads, not least there's one on the Isle of Wight. So nice, they painted it twice. Yeah, anyway, so I don't know what that joke was about. I thought for a moment, sometimes one opens one's mouth and you assume that you sort of rely on inspiration, that you will set yourself up for a joke and something will come. Yeah, it doesn't always work. So don't rely on it, Vobes. Don't rely on it. I don't know why I do. Anyway, the point is, Binstead, the Binstead that I went to is the one that is just south of the A27 near Arundel in West Sussex, as opposed to the Arundel in... Is there another Arundel? I don't think there is another Arundel anywhere, is there? There's an Earl of Arundel, but that's still from the same place. Anyway, the point is I went to Binstead. And why did I go to Binstead? Well, there's a number of things in Binstead. I wanted to have a look round because it's a village, although, of of course, it's not the sort of village. See, this is one of those things. I like to go around the village with my camera and go, hello, I'm Richard Vobes, I'm here on another walk, that sort of thing. But it doesn't, some villages are not conducive to that, because unlike some villages which are very traditional and perhaps they're all round a nice little green sward. That's a good word, isn't it? Sward. I swore I'd never say that. Yesterday I was swearing on the oath. Today I'm swording. Anyway, so some villages are sort of around, you know, perhaps a pond, or the village green, and a bit like Wisborough Green. Very nice village indeed. Been there, made a video. Go and check it out on the Tuber Views. But at some villages like Binstead is very much spread out around the farming communities, and they never sort of got nucleated, as they say. You know, just like Kim Jong-un is trying to do, isn't he? Sort of nuclear everybody, have a nuclear village. Except his village, of course, has got missiles that are all poised to blow us up, unless, of course, Trump manages to kick his face in. Anyway, I don't want to make matters. In case he's watching over there in North Korea. My career is going pretty down south anyway, so you know it'd be nice to climb up the ladder and get some. I'm going bonkers. I went to Binstead, but the main reason I went to Binstead is because I saw. Where's my Binstead pictures? Is that it? Yeah, here we go. I saw this. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a way marker. Now, this one has been recently carved and has been dumped in, positioned very nicely. You can see there it's got the Green Man. That's the Green Man's face on the front with serpents around him. They might be the dragons and monsters from the Knuckler Hole, because apparently there's a Knuckler Hole there, which is a sort of bottomless pit. Pool, if you like, a bottomless pool. Although it isn't actually a bottom. Apparently, they had a pump and they pumped out the water, and they found it was only about 11 foot deep. And then when they turned the pump off, it all filled up again. But I didn't quite know where that was. And actually, I had trouble finding the waymarker, because I went on their website, and it's a very nice website with loads and loads of information. It tells you all about Binstead and bits and bobs and the strawberry fair that they do, and their various get-togethers, art festivals and all this sort of stuff, and drinking at the Black... Is it the Black Horse or the Black Magic Inn or the Black something, and the Blacksmiths, I don't know, anyway, whatever it is, the inn there, and they all have a lovely time. But they were talking about this wayfarer's marker, but what they didn't have a map to show you where it is. They just said, oh, it's at the end of Church Lane. Well, Church Lane, as it happens, doesn't actually have a sign to say it's Church Lane, and it looks more like a farm track. So I went there, filmed around the church, which was nice, and then I wanted to film and try and find this waylay thing, and there was a woman in the old rectory. And I mean, it wasn't so much an old rectory as opposed to an absolutely fantastic Victorian palace. It was a huge great building, bang opposite the church, which is a very lovely, charming church, an absolute charming church, if I may say so. And there was a woman in the garden doing a bit of gardening, you know, clip, clip, and clop, clop, and pull off this, and gobble, gobble. And I said to her, excuse me, I'm looking for the wayfarer thing, wooden thing. And she said, oh, I don't know, I'm sorry. She said, she had headphones on. She was too busy, you know, listening probably to the Naked Englishman podcast. And she said, I'm sorry, I'm just the gardener. I said, oh, well, that doesn't matter. Can you tell me where this wayfarer thing is? And she said, I've no idea. I said, oh, it's a big thing carved, and it's been positioned, and it's at the bottom of Church Lane. And she said, oh, well, this is Church Lane, pointing to the dirt track. And I said, oh, OK, thanks very much. He said, there is a wooden thing down there that's been carved that's recently put in. I said, well, that's it. That must be it. That's the thing. That's what I've come to look at. I said, has it got the Green Man's face on it? Nothing. No idea, she said. No idea. I said, oh, you know, the Green Man, it's the sort of... he's the spirit of nature, isn't he? The rebirth and all of that. Pagan and... Oh, anyway. So I went marching off like that. And eventually I found this thing, and there it is. And I thought, right, OK, so that's good. I can make the other video. So I did make that. It's a sculpture. It's a lovely sculpture, the Green Man there. And often the Green Man, you know, his face is He's on sort of well, on churches and abbeys and cathedrals and all sorts of those sort of places all over the place. It's a superficially pagan, I believe, a fertility finger, not finger, and something to do with a rebirth of spring. That's what it is. That's what it is. Has anybody come across the Green Man? A lot of emojis going across. I don't know if they're Green Men emojis. Paul Hine says, greeting from Netley Common in Hampshire. Hello, Netley Common. Very nice. Steve Travers says, evening, Richard. Maybe you could find yourself an admin to your page and ease the pressure. Yes, that would be good. That would be number one. Number one would be to try and have an admin for the page to let people in, because I don't always see, and people are waiting there. They're going, hello? Hello? Can I come in? Hello? Am I allowed in? Hello? Is there anybody there? Oi, Baldy? Hello? Maybe that's a very good idea. It's finding the right person, isn't it? You know, because what you don't want is a bald bloke with glasses and one eye. Not many of those about, though, luckily, so we'll be all right. So some villages are your new here, and what? Some villages are your new here, ain't you? You're not. Oh yeah, you're new here, ain't you? You're not local. I managed to work it out. Thanks for the punctuation there, Mark. Thanks for for helping on that. Way hey, says Andy. Great carving. Blah blah blah. Maybe you could. Yeah, done up. Right. So anyway, went to Binstead. Had a good rummage around Binstead. Made a couple of videos about that. They'll be coming up next week. So that's all marvellous, isn't it? So, ladies and gentlemen. So. Okay. Oh, I wanted to actually, yeah. No, talking about the Green Man, I forgot. Hang on. Here we are. This is what I meant to show you. I spent ages finding these pictures, and I nearly missed it. Here we go. This is a Green Man. Of course, he has things sprouting out. You can notice he has things sprouting out of his mouth, and it's usually something to do with the leaves, or you can see this bloke here has got oak leaves coming, so it's all to do with rebirth and that sort of malarkey. I'm sure you know a lot more than I do, but yeah, it's sort of a famous figure. I believe it possibly came along with the Saxons. They say that it's more prevalent in West Sussex than anything else, because it down here with the Saxons, but I don't really know. Anyway, he's a beady-eyed looking bloke with lots of oak leaves. So but it can be vines. It can be vines as well, so I'm told. But what do I know? Anyway, I wanted to show you that because that's where I went. We did all this filming, and then I got home. Ladies and gentlemen, slung up my bag with all the camera gear in, and I thought, oh, I'm gasping. And when I got home, on my desk was this. A box, ladies and gentlemen, that had come in the post, and my son Billy, bless his little cotton socks, had answered the postman, who had gone knock, 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 and said, "Excuse me, something for a Mr. Vobes. Does he live here?" And Billy said, "Oh yes, that's my dad." He said, "I said parcel for you, parcel for Mr. Vobes." Thank you very much. So he left it on my desk like that, and then when I got in, I saw this thing, and I thought, that's odd. I haven't ordered anything. Don't think I've ordered anything. Sure, I haven't ordered anything. What could it possibly be? And I was gasping. I was desperate to go and have a nice mug of something, and there was this box. So I thought, oh, all right, I'll open it. I won't even nip upstairs and visit the little boy's room. I'm just going to open this and find out what it is. So, of course, I tore off all the wrappings like this. There was something inside, and I opened it up. And I gasped, ladies and gentlemen, because I thought, what the dickens? What on earth is in the box? And, ladies and gentlemen, I found a mug, but not any old mug. I found a mug made out to the Vobes. Look at that. Vobes needs you, it says on there. Join your country's army. And at the bottom it says, God save the Vobes, it says. Look at that. A beautiful china mug, a beautiful, not porcelain, no, not porcelain, but you know, a proper ceramic, proper china mug. And I thought, hello, and there was a note, which of course I've left in the other room, but it was from, it said on the back here, it said from the Braziers, from the Brazier family. And I know Elaine is a great viewer, and the rest of the family clearly are a great viewer. And they've sent me this wonderful mug, and I was so touched. I thought, wow, with my name on it. How about that? You know, we've already got the merchandise. Although this one I'm not selling, of course. This is for me. So I thought, and I was gasping. So of course, what I did is I immediately went into the kitchen and I got, you know, a tea bag. I put the tea in the cup because, as you do, I put the kettle on. Because I haven't got the kettle in here, but I have got I've got my thermos. So of course I'm going to make it. There we are. Look, I'm going to make myself a nice cup of tea. There it goes. That's lovely. Hot water. One thing I didn't bring was a spoon into the studio, which was a bit stupid, but don't panic. Pen will always do. So stir that up like this. Da 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 da. You've got to give it a good fruition, haven't you? You've got to steep. That's what you do. You steep tea, don't you? Steep it. You don't sleep on it. Then of course you need a little bit of milk. Milk always goes in. Now, if you're making tea with tea bags, I'll tell you how you should do it. Don't put the milk in first. That's absolutely wrong. There's an etiquette to tea. If you're making tea in a pot, you put the tea leaves or the tea bags in the teapot and you pour hot water in. We all know that. Then you put the milk in the cup and then you pour the tea into the cup. So the milk goes in first there. But if you're making tea in a cup, and you may disagree with me on this, but if you're making it in a cup, the tea bag always goes in first because you want the hot water to hit the tea. When it's in a pot, the hot water hits the tea. If it doesn't hit the tea at boiling point, or as near to as you can get, it's not going to be any good. Anyway, so then we shove in a dash of milk, stir it up like that, and then at some point you're going to want to get rid of the tea bag. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Ooh. I know. I'll put it in here. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. I've lost the tea. I haven't got a spoon, have I? There we go. You get rid of the tea bag. Get rid of the spoon, and you've got yourself your very own mug. See what I did there? Oh, there it is. Your very own. Let's do it that way. There we are. Look. Your very own mug of tea. How about that? Cheers, everybody. Cheers. And Elaine and family, thank you so very much. That's so kind. That's brilliant. What a surprise. I was touched, ladies and gentlemen. I was touched. I ran down to the police station and I'd made an official complaint, and it's all being dealt with. But anyway, there we are. So isn't that marvellous? I think that's absolutely fantastic. Let's see what's going on in the what's name room. See how you're all doing. Mark Selwood says, Bob's needs you stunning. Not quite sure what that means. Get the kettle on, then Vobes. Well, I've just made a cup of tea. There was obviously a delay between this. Ancient Japanese tea ceremony. Yeah, this is pretty ancient when I'm making it. It takes for blooming ages. Correct tea strategy there. There you go. Thank you, Steve. I have I have somebody who's on my side. Veritable delicious cup of tea. I can tell you, when it's in your own mug with your own name on it, it's absolutely magnificent. And it is nice, actually. It's a lovely cup of tea. So there we go. And that's just cheap and cheerful tea bags from... well, I won't give them any brandy. I don't think they need it. There was the emojis are flying. The emojis. Thank you very much. So I leave my bag in the mug so it shoots and hits me in the face when I drink the last bit. Yeah, well, sometimes I do forget. Sometimes, and I did that this afternoon, and you're getting down to the bottom and you go, what's that lump of stuff? Because I don't put sugar in or anything. It's like, oh, that's a tea bag. Silly me. Silly me. Anyway, so there we are. Thank you so much, Elaine and family. That's so kind of you. I really appreciate it. Right, we're going to have a quick... we're going to have a quick break now because I tell you what's going on now, ladies and gentlemen. We have had the Vobing reporters. Yes, not the roving reporters, but the Vobing reporters. We played a little snippet yesterday. Well, I've managed to edit up the whole thing. And of course, this is Maggie and Rob and their lovely little dog, Dotty. I think it was Dotty. And they went somewhere up on the Brecon Beacons and they made this little video, which they sent the bits into me. I've edited it together. I've shortened it a bit so it doesn't go on too long because obviously... I mean, you know, I don't want to be upstaged, basically. That's what I'm saying. And so here it is. So I hope you enjoy this whilst I go and enjoy my cup of tea.
Hello. We are Vobing reporters. My name is Maggie, and this is my husband, Robbie. And we have our 12-year-old Jack Russell, Dottie. We are in the Brecon Beacons National Park, and shush now. And we are going to hike to Clan Gorse Lake. Well, we're not hiking actually to the lake, we're hiking up the hill behind us, where we will see the lake. We're now going to walk along this ridge and find the trig point. This hill is the hill that we're going to climb first. It's called Cocket Hill. Ooh la la. This is Llangorse Lake. It's the largest natural lake in South Wales in the Brecon Beacons National Park. It's nicknamed Gorsey. It's about 4 miles in circumference, and the maximum depth is about 7.5 metres. In medieval times, it was known for its miraculous properties. So we've walked along some of the Llangorse Ridge. I think it's called the Mynydd Llangorse Ridge. And we're at the trig point. I do love a trig. And the views are magnificent. Stunning. So, now we're going to head to Mynydd Troed, if that's how it's said. Just scan round and then you might be able to see it in the background. We scaled the front of this hill, or mountain, and the path up to the trig seems never ending. It seems to go on and on, but hopefully we are nearly there. Now we've stopped for a bit of lunch. I'm having a bit of soup, and Rob's having a wrap and cake, and Dottie's having a bit too. We are on a hill in the Black Mountains, and the name Mynydd Troed directly translates to Foot Mountain. Its summit is 609 metres, which is where we are now, above sea level. But the views up here are spectacular. It's a beautiful, clear day.
So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. How about that? That was rather nice, wasn't it? Stunning views. Absolutely stunning views. What a lovely thing. Now, thank you so much, Maggie and Robbie, for sending those bits in and being my very first Vobing reporters, running around the country and bringing back the stuff where I can't get to at the moment, and it's marvellous. So thank you very much for this. Absolutely brilliant. If you'd like to be a Vobing reporter, it's very, very easy indeed. All you've got to do is go out with your phone, take your phone out with you, go for a walk, wherever it is, and you haven't got to make it into a magical feature or anything. You may only just do a couple of snapshots and then a bit to camera, just say, "Hi Richard, I'm out here by so-and-so, walking around the such and such a lake, or the this, that and the other, and I'm ready to be run over by the flying pickets," or whatever it might be, and send that in, and you could be a vote. It'd be lovely just to get more people involved in the show, turning up in different places and saying hello. Or if you just literally want to do a message, a shout out, if you've got something going on and you think, yes, hi Richard, just want to tell you that we're doing a charity event at the so-and-so park, all in aid of charity for blah blah blah. That would be great too. That would be great. Why not? Why not make this sort of like a community post, not a weighing post or a weigh marker post or whatever that weird green man thing was, something like that. So you know, that's the nature of the beast. So what do you think? Anyway, then just message me on Facebook or send me an email. richard@vobes.com is the email address. I'll have to put a little thing up there, and that would be absolutely fantastic. Now, let's move on to something else. I saw the lovely Julia this morning. Oh, yes, I did. And her charming hubby, Charles. And it was so nice to meet them both. And we had a cup of coffee in the lounge in Lancing. So if you ever go to the cafe, Lancing Lounge, very nice people there, very lovely cup of coffee. I have to say that I had a black Americano, delish. And reasonable price too, I should have you know. They have Wi-Fi as well, so you can sit there with your laptop. And we did that. We sat with a laptop and we were planning the Glastonbury trip. And I can tell you now that the hotel somewhere deep in Somerset has been booked. And actually, we're going to go, I've extended it slightly because... well, if we're going west, we're going to go for 2 nights, 3 days. So we're going to get 3 days worth of stuff because somebody said, hey, you want to go and you want to check out this place. They gave us a little place. I won't actually tell you where it is at the moment. I'll leave all that as a bit of a surprise because you may all suddenly turn up en masse. Well, that won't be much fun for the owners. But the point is it's close to Wells, which I believe is the smallest city in England. And I thought once we've done 2 days in Glastonbury, running around one up and down the high street and look at all of the interesting things and all the different places, and then the tour the next day and some of the countryside and some of the quirkier places, I thought on the last day it'd be great to go to Wells and see a completely different sort of thing. Oldie-woldy, beautiful buildings and all that sort of stuff. And make it a contrast, make it a 3-day effort, because there's just enough funds. There's just enough funds to do all of that. And thank you very much for those people who've put your hand in your pocket and made it possible. I have booked the room, but even the rooms, I should say, the rooms. There's 2 rooms because there's 2 of us. And you'll be pleased to know that in tomorrow's show, the lovely Julia. Oh, where's Julia gone? She's vanished. Oh, no. Yeah, tomorrow's show, Julia will be here and we'll be talking stuff about Glastonbury and that sort of thing. So something to look forward to on the, what is it tomorrow? Thursday, isn't it? Thursday show. So there we go. That's all quite fun and dandy. So Julia will be here with freshly purpled hair, I assure you, because I've seen it. I've seen it freshly purpled, so that'd be marvellous. So that's that. In the daytime, I'm meeting up. I said that I'm meeting up with Martin Snow. Martin, where is Martin Snow? Martin? Oh no, I'm meeting him tomorrow, and we're going to Micklegrove. Yes, we're going there to a special event. We've got special licences to go in there. We've got passport control and all that sort of nonsense. And then we're going to have a little walk around, and Martin's going to tell me all about the history and the information about that. We'll make up another video, and that will be great. And hopefully I'll have some stuff maybe to play in on the show about some people that we potentially, if we get permission, can go and interview. So that's all very exciting. So it's all going swimmingly well, ladies and gentlemen. It's all going swimmingly well, and I'm absolutely pleased. So what else have I got to tell? Oh, let's go into the group. Let's go into the Bald Explorer group page. I'm sorry if there's a bit of a delay. I will try and get someone to be admin who can help me there and sort of sort it out. Somebody who's got time on their hands and is sitting on Facebook day in, day out. Because I'm not always there, you see. No, not always there. So let's have a little look down in the group. Now, what was interesting, I found this quite interesting. Let's have a look. Here we go. This church is in Shrewsbury. Not in Shrewsbury, in Shropshire, and it's a church. It's a church that was posted. It's Tong Church, Tong, Tong Church. Andy Ward posted this. Thank you, Andy. It's very kind of you to post that. It's a lovely church. But what I found fascinating, particularly, not only is it sort of near Tong, which I can tell you, the name of that is Old English. It's from something like Toonga, which means a pinched piece of land or a spit of land. It stems from the fact that Tong sits between 2 tributaries of the infant River Wharfe, W-O-R-F-E. The village lies just to the north of the M54 in Shropshire. And the A41 road used to run through the village, but after a heavy traffic and a death of a child under a lorry. The village was bypassed in 1963. Well, good year that, I'll tell you why a bit later. But here we go. Now have a look at this. This is what caught my eye particularly, because it's an interesting, I don't know whether it's a poem as such, but it's a piece of instructions by George Harrison. Not that George Harrison. I think it's a bit before his day, because this is dated 1694. And actually, I was quite taken with that. So I did a bit of research actually, and I found this in an old book on of interesting places. And it says here that this may amuse. It says on here, it may amuse that the college youths who annex, this is what is it, instructions to the college youths who would be newly ensconced in the church and all that sort of nonsense. So here it is. Anyway, it says what that slab was saying is, if that to ring you do. I read this several times and I made it perfect, and now I'm going to make a complete arse of it. If that to ring you do come here, you must ring well with hand and ear. Keep stroke of time and go not out, or else you forfeit out of doubt. Our law is so constructed here, for every fault a jug of beer. If that you ring with spur or hat, a jug of beer must pay for that. If that you take a rope in hand, those forfeits you must not withstand. Or if that you a bell overthrow, it must cost sixpence ere you go. If in this place you swear or curse, sixpence to pay. Pull out your purse, come pay the clerk, it is his fee. For one that swears shall not go free. These laws are old and are not new. Therefore the clerk must have his due. George Harrison, 1694. Now, you didn't believe that one of the Beatles was doing that back as early as that, making rhymes and making music. But there you go. You know, that's what it was. That's what was happening. Oh, Sweet Lord was, I think, the follow-up one that he did. Anyway, so I thought that was absolutely fascinating. And if you go in the group, you'll find more pictures of all around Tong Church. It's a lovely, lovely place. So that's very nice. Not many other posts I didn't notice, unless they've been coming up. But that was to stop these youths, I think, from ringing the bells, because ringing the bells is a very important thing, or was a very important thing. I mean, it probably still is a fairly important thing, but it was to sort of quell them mucking about. Mucking about? Yes, they were mucking about. So that's all good. I've got a preview of going up the Lavalier in the Mist in a moment. Going up the Lavalier in the Mist. But first, before all of that, I have to do this from time to time. So excuse me, I've lost where the... here we go. You can become, ladies and gentlemen, you can help me make these videos, make them all possible and improve the quality, and not sort of... you faff about and muck about and all the stuff that I do, by becoming a patron of Vobes. Support the Bald Explorer for the price of a cup of coffee, or even better, ladies and gentlemen, a cup of tea a month. So, like, you know, for a couple of quid, it's entirely up to you what you spend. If you spend anything, you don't have to, of course. This is just a little plea to say, if you support the old Vobie, One-Eyed Kenobi, I can get out and make these videos. We've got the Glastonbury thing is done now. We've raised the money, and thank you for that. And we're going to have some fantastic footage and an adventure, mini adventure it is. So that's all done. So the patrons will get that, and the people who've helped support that will get that, of course. There'll be some special stuff that the patrons will get that, of course, the general public won't get, because people have, you know, helped support the Vobes. So it's only fair. So there'll be a smattering of stuff on the normal thing, but the patrons get a lot of the goodies. So it is well worth it. And also, if you are a patron of Vobes, ladies and gentlemen, a patron of Vobes, you get my daily podcast, which is a sort of behind the scenes of my life. I go into a small cubbyhole and I record this podcast. Sometimes I'm out and about recording it. Sometimes I'm making a cup of tea. Ooh, that would be nice. Nice cup of tea. Anyway, you get that delivered to you every day. It's a sort of 10-minute little thing telling you, you know, a bit more serious than the frivolity that is the Vobes show. Not the Vobes show, the Bald Explorer Live, which is really a sort of reincarnation of the Vobes show, but with pictures. So anyway, to do that, if you want to become a patron of the Vobes, you can do. It's very easy. All you've got to do is go to baldexplorer.com and then just look for where it says support on the menu, on the sort of horizontal menu. Anyway, so get through that. So, yes, over the weekend, I went up to Shropshire, went to see the lovely Hariati, and we went up onto the Lawley, which is a video which is coming very soon to you. And the Lawley is a beautiful hill. It's about just under 1,300 feet. So it dwarfs the South Downs, I can tell you. And there it is, like there's the twin peaks of the Lawley. It's a massively long, humped back volcanic rock, and there's a number of them. You've got Caer Caradoc, which you can't see, which is beyond. Then a bit further you've got the Wrekin, which is a little bit more famous, and a lot of people go round the Wrekin. And then you've got here. But when we went, unfortunately, it was a little misty. And on the very summit, there's the marker with the summit. You see, people were stuck in the mist. So Harriet and I went up, and I've got a little snippet to play in. So have a little snippet of this. Well, we can't see it now. I was going to say we're approaching the pinnacle. It's still a little way off. But the mist, oh, you can smell it, can't you? The mist is rolling in now.
It's lovely. Sorry, we haven't got bright colours on, so
no,
might lose each other.
Yes. So this, oh my goodness, look behind us.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that is proper being immersed. Any minute now, we're going to be completely engulfed. If you come round this side, you can see there's scenery, there's the world, and actually, as it happens, Lola! Come here, good girl. A bit worried about Lola now because she does have a tendency to go off, as we said earlier. And if she disappeared in this, well, that would be it. We just never see her. So the question didn't have the fader up then. Did you notice that there was a moment? Moment silence. You see, very easily done. If you don't put the blooming fader up. Anyway, there's a question hanging in the air there, ladies and gentlemen. The question is, did we lose Lola or did we keep her? And what was the result of that? Well, we'll leave you waiting for that one. That's coming out on Friday. Tomorrow we have going up Rodney's Pillar. Yeah, that's not as rude as it sounds, actually. It's a little bit more sensible. And then we'll end the week on Friday with that. And I shall be going back up to Shropshire at the weekend. I'm going to be meeting, hopefully on Tuesday, I think, one of the viewers, one of my lovely viewers who's coming over from Nebraska, USA, and he's going to Edinburgh and he's going down to London, but he's going via Shrewsbury because I think he's got sort of family connections there, and I'm going to meet him for a cup of tea and a bite to eat and maybe get a little bit of video which we can play into the live show. So, you know, lots going on, ladies and gentlemen. As I say, I need a bit of a PA. And also, on that note, I hope to get some cards. I desperately, when I'm out filming, people go, "Excuse me, what's you doing?" And then I have to explain. I say, "Well, I'm the Bald Explorer." "The what?" "The Bald Explorer." Don't know what that means. "Well, I'm bald and I'm exploring." "And?" "Well, I'm the Bald Explorer. I've got this YouTube channel and the Facebook channel." "Right." "Well, you asked what I'm doing. I'm making a video for that." "Oh." So what clearly, you know, there's a lot of people who don't quite get it. So when I used to do the Vobes show, ladies and gentlemen, the Vobes show, the old podcast years ago, I had these flyers. Here we go. Here's one. Listen to something different. The Vobes show. And on the back, it would explain exactly what it is and how you could get to it and all that. So I'm going to make up some Bald Explorer flyers so I can have them and hand them out. So when somebody says, "Excuse me, what's it doing?" shove that in their face and say, "That's what I'm doing now, shove off." I've just realised, ladies and gentlemen, I made this cup of tea. I made this lovely cup of tea and I completely forgot. I had a biscuit. Look, I had a bourbon biscuit to dunk in there and eat with my tea. How stupid is that? I was so blown away by the very kind gift that was given. Let's see what's going on in the thing before we go. We've been on long enough. I'm going to head off and let you get on with your evening. Julia has arrived. Awesome. If you don't pop in for the tomorrow's show, then I'll see you on Friday. because, oh yeah, Julia and I are going out on Friday. We're hunting the tree. We are hunting the tree with the door. Won't say any more than that. We may mention it tomorrow. That's rather good. I'm proud to be a patron of the Vobes, says Mark Wynne. Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. Mark Selwood says, I'm proud to be a patron of the Vobes. That's so good. Ed Warren, another patron of the Vogue. Loads of them. I like coffee like my women. Strong and dark, says Andy Ash. Well, that's very nice. I'm a patron of his nibs. I like that, says Kevin. And Jane says, sometime is longer than 10 minutes. So take biscuits. What? Sometimes it's longer than 10 minutes. Take the biscuits with you. Yes, well, I completely forgot about the biscuits, but I've got it now. So we're all right. Alex says, when they bring proper coffee into the UK, against my will, oh, it's disappearing. I was talking about it and I asked for a strong black Blue Mountain. It's smoother than the usual brew. Sorry, the comment was just vanishing when I noticed it. So, anyway, I've been on long enough. I'm so sorry to monopolise your evening. I tried to do the solo shows half an hour, but obviously I've failed. Too much material. I need a PA. I need an assistant. I need somebody there sort of producing the show, saying, no, okay, Vobes, go, leave the building. We've had enough. Otherwise, it's overkill. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for being wonderful audience and coming along and enjoying the show. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. I feel like I've stumbled rather blindly through this show today, but there we go. Some shows are better than others. There'll be another one tomorrow. The show is like bread. You'll get a fresh loaf tomorrow. It may be not as good as the one you had the day before, but then there's another one after that. So thanks very much indeed. I will see you, and Julia will see you tomorrow. It's going to be awesome, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. We shall have purple hair and fun and frolics on the show. No idea what we're doing. But until the next time, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you soon. It's been absolute joy. You're all lovely people, and I enjoy doing this, and I gather that you enjoy watching it, which is fantastic. And thanks so much for my wonderful gift. It's incredible. I am really, honestly, I'm honoured and touched by it. But until the next time, I must away. Get my beauty sleep. We've got the lovely Julia coming in. I need to compete. Until then, au revoir, ladies and gentlemen. Au revoir.